Alright guys, back here with another video. And on this one, as a matter of fact, before we get into it, make sure you like and subscribe. And for this video, I want to talk about something that was brought to my attention. And lately I've been speaking with a client who has been in a long-term relationship. And I've had clients like this before in the past. The circumstances of the relationship don't usually matter, whether the problems are about money or the problems are about, other specific things. One thing that always stands common for men who want to change their relationship after they've been in a long-term relationship and the dynamics have been the same for so long, what you need to understand is you need a drastic change. You need a drastic change. For example, I'll give you two examples. For the man who has been dealing with the disrespect for so long, a man that's been getting disrespected for so long, and he may come and watch my videos and understand that, okay, well, I did what you said, KB. I got disrespected and I checked her. But then shortly after, she kept doing it. And I checked her again and she kept doing it. And usually the process is after somebody disrespects you, after the first warning, you have to take space. And this guy told me he did that. He said he took the space, he took the necessary space, he stayed away from her. And lo and behold, it happened again. And then obviously, when this happens, you're supposed to take even more space from that individual. And so on and so forth. So much so, if it continues, then you have to understand that you have to separate from this person indefinitely. Because why? This person doesn't have a certain type of respect for you, and that is not sustainable, because they're going to continue to disrespect you, and it's never going to stop. And not only can you never have a thriving, functioning relationship, you'll never have respect in that relationship, and you'll never have love in that relationship. Because usually the respect is there at the beginning, right? But once the respect goes, the love falls shortly after. Even if they do love you, that love is not the same as it was at the beginning. But what you have to understand in a relationship like that, where a person's getting disrespected and he wants his respect, you have tolerated that disrespect for so long that you have become conditioned. Both of you have. You have become conditioned to accepting disrespect and tolerating it. And she has become conditioned to disrespecting you and thinking that this is the norm. So when you come subtly and you say, you know what, I don't want to be disrespected anymore. I don't want to be talked to this way. So now I'm making a stand for myself. But the problem is you've guys been conditioned for this. So until you're ready to make a big drastic change, nothing's ever going to change. So what is that necessary step? That necessary step is to take space. You have to take space. Because taking the space, and not just a few days like the guys who try to do it and implement it as if their relationship is new. Yes, if this is a relatively new relationship and you get disrespected for the first time, then yes, maybe that's okay. And then you take space and you correct it and you let her know that I'm going to be done with this, and you keep disrespecting me. This is what's going to happen. I'm going to create space, and the space is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's what's going to happen. But in a situation when you're in a long-term relationship, taking space is not the only thing that you need to do. You need a reset. Now, if you're subscribed to Patreon, make sure you guys subscribe to Patreon. If you're not subscribed to Patreon, there's a video I have on there called The Reset. And the reset is this idea of taking a long-term break. Taking a break where you don't speak and interact with this person on any level for a long amount of time. But why is this necessary? Now, of course, with a reset, there's little details that go into it, but you have to subscribe to Patreon for that. But why is this reset necessary? Because you've been in a certain way for so long. You need something drastic. You need a very big, dramatic event in order for this person to understand that you're serious. It's almost like crying wolf. If you always say, like the little boys cry wolf, and they say, oh, the wolf is coming, and all the village people come, and he continues to do it, then they're like, oh, he's lying. And it's the same thing, like, stop disrespecting me. I keep disrespecting you, and you don't do anything about it. You don't have the balls to leave. Or some women might want to bait you and actually make you, put your hands on them. Obviously, I never advocate for that. But you need something drastic to prove that you're serious, to show them that you are for real this time. So a reset, you need to take an actual break. Now, for some men, this is very tough because some get anxious. They start to panic. Oh, I don't want her to go forget about me, have sex with somebody else. I don't want forget about me and go cheat. I don't want her to forget about me and go, sleep with other men and start dating other men, because men start to get insecure and they start to get in their head and they think that, well, I don't want her to go out and do all these things with other people. So they're afraid of actually making this move. But it's one of the only things that is going to help you, because after taking space like this person knows now you're serious. They understand that you're serious, and they understand that you're not going to tolerate that shit anymore. And you're not going to allow them to disrespect you anymore. And the long extended amount of space, whether that be 3 weeks to 2 months, whatever it may be, they're going to think like, damn, well, I disrespected him so much that he actually got tired of it. He actually got enough of this. And that's kind of crazy, because now they realize, because they were disrespecting you and you asked plenty of times for them to stop, now it's like, okay, well, he's going out of my life. And when you come back, you can set these new boundaries. And obviously you want them to come back. You want them to text you first, because what's the point in stopping talking to somebody and then going back on it and just texting them and hitting them up? No. And when they come back, they have to have an understanding, and you have to have an understanding that the disrespect is not something that's going to be tolerated. And if it happens again, I am done with you for good. And even when they do come back, you don't instantly forgive them. You don't instantly just say, hey, I accept you back, just don't disrespect. No, you make them work for it at this point. When they first hit you up, you don't hit them back right away. When they first hit you up, you don't say, oh my God, hey, no. You take your time, and then you have an understanding that I'm not tolerating disrespect anymore. So you might not want to talk to me. I'm not sure why you're talking to me, because my respect is so important. I am willing to leave this situation for X amount of years, and I don't care what that means. I don't care if I never speak to you again, because I'm tired of it. And that is the only thing that's going to make a statement to them. That is the only thing that's going to be real for them, because now they know. Now, even if you give a situation where a guy has been having a transactional relationship, and they have such a relationship where he gives her money, and then she gives him what he wants, but not until then. And this is what you'll find: a lot of married men who claim that they don't have sex with their wives anymore, and they don't have the type of relationship with their wives where, oh, my wife doesn't give me anything anymore, because they've been in this type of relationship that's become so transactional, and they've been loyal and loving to their wives, where the wives start to take the power in the relationship. They start to get what they want, and this man's not getting anything in return. Oh, take out the garbage. If you do this, take that. And he's such a breadwinner that he has no choice but to take care of his wife. And maybe she's a stay-at-home mom, but he does everything for her, and there's no type of anxiety in that relationship. He probably never tells her no. He probably takes care of everything. There's no engaging in her emotions, because everything is on easy mode. He's probably 100% honest and transparent about everything. He doesn't make her think, right? Everything is on easy mode. She has her way with everything. And the thing that you'll find in common with both of these type of situations, where the guy that's being disrespected and the guy that has a strictly transactional relationship, the respect is usually the common factor. But even to change that, you need a big reset. You need a situation where there's this period of separation. There's this period of not talking. there is a period of showing a different side of you. And that different side of you is showing that I'm not going to tolerate this type of behavior anymore. I'm not going to tolerate this type of respect anymore. And I don't want to be a part of this dynamic. Now, that doesn't mean you have to leave them forever. That just means you have to leave them long enough for them to understand that this dynamic is not going to work. I know we've been together for years, but it is no longer going to work, and I no longer want to be a part of it. And that's what that needs to mean to them, and that's what needs to be done. But some guys are so afraid of taking that break. Some guys are so afraid on losing out forever. Some guys get this idea of FOMO where they just can't separate themselves. And they understand what they have to do. Most people understand what they have to do. Most people understand and know what they have to do. But they're so afraid and have such a scarcity mindset that they just don't want to do it. But understand, if you stay in that situation, your situation will never help you. That situation will never change. It will only get worse. And if you take the risk to try something different, and it's not then and only until then will your situation change. But some men don't understand this. And understand, when you're in these relationships long term and you want a drastic change, you need a reset. But anyway, guys, make sure you subscribe to Patreon and where you can find that reset video. And make sure you subscribe to the podcast and like and subscribe to the channel. And remember, guys, have some dignity, have self-respect, and don't allow people to put you in compromising situations where you feel uncomfortable. All right?